We welcome you to Marita Hines Field, the 25th and final season of this venerable venue, where blue collar meets red dirt. And day number one of the annual OU tournament, the first of 4 games for the Oklahoma Sooners this weekend. It's presented by OU Health on Sooner Vision from ESPN+. Sooners will take on number 13 Kentucky later on this evening, but up first it is the UIC Flames who are looking for their first win, but they have played a brutal schedule that we will get into shortly. Alongside the former Sooner national champion and All-American Destiny Martinez, I'm Chad McKee. It's a beautiful day. Fans are a little bit muddled up. 50-plus degrees, wind coming out of the northeast today, but it is good to be home. Sooners have been out in California for a couple of weeks. And Destiny, what is it like when you finally get to come and play before the home crowd here at the OU softball complex?
Oh, I know that they have just been waiting for this day. This is the best crowd to play in front of, the best weather today. It feels great outside for a softball game. But just getting to feel that environment and the atmosphere that you get as a Sooner softball player, it doesn't get any better than this, and I know that they've been waiting for this day.
And we want to wish everybody the best out there. The tornadoes that came through the Norman area here in the last week. In fact, the Sooners were able to get out and help out a little bit with relief from that. But we hope you are doing well and able to watch Sooner softball today as Nicole May faces Alana Cran, the leadoff batter and shortstop for the Flames of UIC. Coached by Lynn Carrillo, an alumnus of UIC in her 7th season as the head coach. And Cran batting .300, that is tops on this team. Has a triple and a run batted in, was second team All-Horizon League last year. There's the Sooner junior Nicole May out of Pleasanton, California. 15-2 a season ago, and you see has not allowed an earned run. Look at that strikeouts to walk ratio, 5-1, Destiny.
It's incredible. The way that I've been able to watch Nicole May really develop as a pitcher, it's been really special, honestly. Getting to see Nicole, just her composure, everything she does on the mound, her control. I have really enjoyed watching her develop.
The 2-1 pitch fouled back by Cran, who's a senior from Oxnard, California. Not a whole lot of wind here today. It does pick up briefly. You see Walker, Inglis, and then Carly Jo Clark, Haley Cowing, and Alana Cran. The 2-2 pitch, a little bit too tall. Such a strike thrower, though, is Nicole May, regularly in the zone. This Sooner pitching staff has been unbelievable through the first, now 14 games this season. 9 shutouts in 14 games.
It's incredible, and the addition with Alex Sirocco to the pitching staff, they have what it takes to get through to the postseason.
And there's a strikeout to start this one. So Nicole May begins with her first K of the afternoon. Strikeout number 36, tied for the team lead in that category.
I think last year we saw so much of Jordy Ball in her performance, and Nicole May did get in quite often last year, but I think the hype was so focused on Jordy Ball, and so being able to see Nicole May and Alex Sirocco and Jordy Ball kind of come together as a complete staff. And what I think is most interesting to me is they're all right-handed. And I feel like that's super rare for the Sooners. But I'm excited to see how the staff really comes together.
Do have a couple of lefties who are down in the pecking order a little bit out in the bullpen in Kirsten Deal and S.J. Guerin, who are both freshmen, as this one is bounced toward Quincy Lilio getting the start at second base. Good to see some of the youngsters out there. Micah Inglis grounds out to Lilio for out number 2 in the top of the first inning. Trails Golf Club of Norman brings you this look at weather. It's a nice day, in fact, to be out at the trails playing a little golf if you are not at Marita Hines Field. But game time temperature going to be in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Looks like the wind may have shifted a little bit. It's coming in almost due north today. 10 miles an hour. Let's see. Not much of a factor at all is that wind. 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed.
Really great pitch by Nicole May, just up and in at the hands. You can see she's really working that rise ball.
So up 0-2 now on Carly Jo Clark. And just missing. This UIC team has just played a very difficult schedule. Last weekend they were at the University of South Florida Invitational, facing number 12 Tennessee there. They've lost to North Texas, lost to Clemson. In fact, they lost twice to Tennessee last weekend. 1-2 swung on and missed. A pair of strikeouts for Nicole May in the first inning. No runs, no hits, and no errors for the Flames, and the Sooners bat for the first time this season at Marita Hines Field when we come back to Norman.
Kind of piecing it all together. Obviously, you still have Tiare Jennings in the lineup, Jada Coleman. You still have the hitters. Jocelyn Erickson is coming in clutch. But as Coach Gasso moves forward with this program, you can't rely on those automatic almost bombs from Aloe anymore. So I think seeing consistency, seeing the situations being attacked, you see Jada Coleman trying to drop a bunt now, trying to put pressure on the defense. It's going to be a little bit of a different offense this year, but they're capable and they're great players. It'll be a good season.
Jada Coleman takes outside, 2 balls and a strike, batting .394, 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in for Jada so far this year. Batted .424 as a freshman, .444 last year. Your Sooner batting lineup is presented by Norman Regional Health. Coleman, Lyons, and Jocelyn Erickson, whom you spoke of. A tailing line drive that's gone. A liner over the left field wall to start things for Jada Coleman. And the Sooners lead 1-0. Power to the opposite field for Jada Coleman to start it.
An absolute shot to left center. And just the way that she went about it, she really worked the count. She showed a little bit of everything she's capable of, showed a bunt, worked the count to get the pitch that she could really work with, sent that automatically straight out of the park. Just a shot, really seeing that ball get deep in the zone, sending it opposite field. Such a strong hitter.
And the celebration is on early for the Sooners. And Jada Coleman, Grace Lyons, the shortstop, steps in. So take this one down and away. Sooner home runs are brought to you by OERB. It happened so fast we could barely get the sponsor up there. Jada Coleman blasting one over the left field wall to start the score. Lyons hits this one off the end of the bat down the right field line. That's going to fade foul. For Jada Coleman, home run number 3 for the Sooners, home run number 22 for the year. And that has to rock you a little bit if you, Christina Taniolo, out in the circle, senior from Crystal Lake, Illinois. 34 2/3 innings pitched this year. She pitched a team high 105 innings last year. Her 4th year on the pitching staff for the Flames. Lyons hits a pop-up into straightaway center field and shallow. Didi Koski will make the catch for the first out. So Lyons back to the dugout, off to a .378 start as Lyons prior to that pop-up. And we will see Jocelyn Erickson, the freshman from Phoenix, Sandra Day O'Connor High School, same high school as Grace Lyons. What a start. 5 home runs, 21 runs batted in, leading this team in both categories.
A tremendous start. Just as a freshman, coming in and feeling so settled and on the road with your team and going through all those different adjustments, for her to come in and do what she's done, it's really incredible.
It's a lot to jump into a program like this, bat in the number 3 spot in the lineup from day one, and produce like she has.
No, she's done a phenomenal job, and I was watching them last weekend against UCLA and all their other games, and she just seems so comfortable. I feel like that's the kind of energy as a freshman to come in. You've just got to settle in as the player that you are and not be anything different or try to be something you're not. I think she's really come in and dominated that role of, hey, I'm a really talented player. I can hit. I'm strong. And she's owned it.
Changeup is a little upstairs to Erickson. And you ask Patty Gasso about her, and she says that Jocelyn Erickson is just so even-keeled. That's one thing that helps her. Never too high, never too low. She has the maturity of a much older player.
Yeah, and that's really what it takes. I feel like you're in an emotional roller coaster coming in as a freshman.
This one is driven foul. And that was a rocket past the first base umpire, Anthony Williams. As we check out Destiny's keys to this contest presented by Riverwind Casino, still the one. What do you have, Destiny?
Smart offensive decisions. I think for them, they've got to be very picky in the batter's box. And then on the defensive side, I want to see our pitchers get these hitters to chase. I want to see them work in the corners, work in the dirt, working, high, low. I want to see them get these hitters to chase and see that late break. So those are my two keys.
I like them. Full count to Jocelyn Erickson. Sooners signed her, and then she actually hit a growth spurt as a senior in high school. Older sister played at BYU. Her dad a big part in helping her become the player that she is. And the payoff pitch tapped foul. She spoils that one. Jada Coleman has a home run to start this one if you're just joining us. Sooners getting Quincy Lilio into the lineup. See some players that don't get a lot of playing time when you're playing 4 games in 2 days. You've been on the road. Players need a little bit of rest, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're going to see some players getting some rest.
This one is pretty well hit to straightaway center field, and back to chase it down is Koski, the center fielder. She didn't even swing that hard, but still got it all the way to the warning track.
I was thinking the same thing. That was not as hard as I've seen her swing, and man, she's just strong. As soon as she gets a hold of one, I feel like that pitch was not necessarily the pitch that she could work with, pretty down and in, but man, if she gets a hold of them, they go.
Sophia Nugent, the Sooner catcher, is in there. First pitch on the inside corner, 2 down. Nugent batting in the cleanup spot today. Sooners have also used Haley Lee, Kinsey Hansen. So a multitude of catchers. Nugent getting the start today, the freshman from Seal Beach, California. And she started actually opening day. She was the #3 recruit in the class of 2021. And she's had a good year. Her 8th start, batting .455 with 2 home runs and 6 runs driven in. Spoils that one, and the count stays 0-2.
Toniolo is doing a really good job of getting our hitters to kind of be off balance or a little early in their swings. Lots of balls are coming off the ends of the bats.
Swing and a miss. So a strikeout ends it. Jada Coleman homers, and then Toniolo retires. Lyons, Erickson, and Nugent back to back to back. And it's 1-0 Sooners as we head to the wins. Shutout of Duke, a run rule of Stanford. Close one against Washington. And the one we highlighted off the top of the show over then #1 UCLA. Last weekend out in California. As off we go. Inning #2. Haley Cowing, the right fielder, is in for UIC. Oklahoma lost that game down in Waco to Baylor 2 weekends ago, and some of the pollsters decided to drop the Sooners down to #2. Do you think that part of the UCLA game was maybe a little message?
I think so. I'm going to go with yes, absolutely. I think with the Baylor loss, it's going to happen. Early in the season, there's so many things that are still trying to get tweaked out, and Baylor is a good team, but not for them to get knocked down to 2.
That one bounced off the glove of Quincy Lilio, and it should be an infield base hit for Haley Cowing to start the second for the Flames. So for Cowing, her 7th hit of the year.
Now batting the left fielder.
Great effort by Lilio, trying to just close that gap, but just missing it up the middle.
First hit of the afternoon for the Flames. Alana Cran, the left fielder, is in, showing bunt, and that pop-up will get foul. 281 was the average for Cran last year when she made All Horizon League, drove in 21 runs. And this year leading this team with a 300 average. Bunted. Cut off by Brito, the third baseman. Her play goes over to Sydney Sanders for the first out. A sacrifice for Cran moves Cowing down to second base.
These are the types of situations that OU needs to be able to see and execute. I feel like that was really great execution just by everybody out on the field. You're making the play at first, but you see Coleman coming over for the backup throw. You see Brito coming over just in case there is something going on at third. You see Torres going over to back up the throw at first. Everybody was in position. I think those are the things that you want to see in the preseason.
Such a staple of Patty Gasso's program's destiny, and the offensive numbers can be eye-popping.
Yeah.
The pitching can be stifling, but to me, the backbone of the program is the defense.
Yes.
It's what is emphasized, is it not?
Absolutely. When you get to practice, you are getting, for the infielders at least, lasers hit at you often, and you're working the defense, you're working bunts, you're making sure everybody's where they need to be. If you're standing around, you are in the wrong place, and I think that is something that's just automatically instilled from Coach Gasso. And it's expected. When you're at practice, you are expected to cover every single base, or, you know, if you're an outfielder, you're supposed to be somewhere. And that's just instilled, but I think that does definitely get overlooked with their powerful offense.
High fastball from May strikes out Crowley for the second out of the inning. And the third strikeout for Nicole May.
The third baseman, Jordan
Just
Sabedo.
blisters it right past her. And Jordan Sabedo is in with Cran at second base and 2 down. This pitching staff has the ability in critical situations like that just to get it out by themselves.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of these pitchers, just even Nicole May, you can see her work in the count, and I love that she hasn't stopped forcing that ball up. That one came down and in, but I feel like a lot of what she's trying to accomplish is within herself. So if she's trying to perfect that rise ball in this game, is the time to do it. We're going to see her kind of moving it around a lot, and this is more so for her to perfect her craft.
Three and 0 the count now to Jordan Sabedo. Sabedo makes her 6th start, batting .214 with 1 double. But an RBI chance, the tying run in scoring position for the Flames. And a 4-pitch walk is the first free pass issued by Nicole May today. Oklahoma has outscored opponents 124-13 so far this season. Jennifer Rocha, Sooner pitching coach, in there. And a little conference here between May and Sophia Nugent. Is this just making sure you're on the same page? Anything fundamental you might see as we look at Jennifer Rocha?
No, I think that they're trying to make sure that they're on the same page. I think Nicole May, well, actually we're seeing them kind of cross-check the cards, so they're maybe just making sure they have the right card in there, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think for Nicole May, you know, she's just missing. These strikes aren't far off. They're not in the dirt. I think she's just trying to get comfortable and make sure that she's on the same page. And I know she's probably more used to seeing Hansen behind the plate. So, yeah, just making sure that each other are comfortable and moving forward.
Marissa Villa is in, the first baseman, and taking a strike. Take us through the communication from the dugout to behind the plate out to the circle.
Yeah, so you have Coach Rocha in the dugout calling the signs. You're getting the signs from Nugent as a pitcher, so Nicole May is just receiving them. Most of the defenders, if not all, most, you know, in the infield at least, I didn't have one as an outfielder, but in the infield, you're able to kind of see what pitch is coming. That helps you understand what to expect. So if a pitch is coming, if a curveball is coming to a right-handed hitter, maybe on the right side of the field is where you can expect a hit.
1-2 the count on Villa.
So just understanding what pitch is coming so the whole field is on the same page with what direction they may be going. But yeah, you get it from Coach Rocha. It comes into Nugent. May receives the call, making sure they're on the same page.
Swing and a miss, so a critical strikeout. 1 of 2 in the inning and 4 in the game so far for Nicole May.
Sooners have put so many runs on the board. You don't see that anywhere.
Leading things off, Alyssa Brito, the third baseman. Then it's Alina Torres and Riley Boone, the scheduled hitters, against Christina Toniolo. What a great crowd. Home games are sold out at Marita Hines Field for the regular season. You will have a couple of chances. The Friday of the Texas series is going to be played at Hall of Fame Stadium, as is the Omni Classic event. Sooners will be hosting that March 17th through 19th. So it is sold out, but those are chances that you can see the Sooners in Oklahoma City during the regular season. As Alyssa Brito takes up and away, and you come to a game, they're out here 3.5, 4 hours driving from all over the state. You'll see buses from Guyman and Idabel at the stadium to watch this team play.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. You do not want to miss that, so get your chance.
The 1-1 to Alyssa Brito is down and in. Brito, the junior from Tustin, California, transferred to Oklahoma from Oregon last season. Played shortstop there now 3 years ago. Very good shortstop, and now playing third base at Oklahoma with Grace Lyons as the Sooners shortstop. Brito batting .368. Count rolls to 2-2 on her. In fact, talking about the crowds, Patty Gasso was talking about the UCLA game. It was 9:30 in the morning. It's basically kind of a club field, not really a stadium where they were playing. And she said they showed up and there were 5,000 fans there. It's in California,
yeah.
And Sooner fans outnumbered UCLA fans.
Yeah, it was insane. So it's no different than just a typical, I mean, there's an entrance and all that. So, but you think of a rec park with fence down the lines and lawn chairs and all of that, and 5,000 people didn't really actually fit in that venue. I think that just college softball has grown so much. They've almost outgrown that facility for that event.
There's a walk to Alyssa Brito to start the Sooner second, and it is programs like Oklahoma and UCLA and what ESPN has done to help grow the sport and putting it in the national spotlight so often.
Yeah, with the coverage from ESPN, it has really helped the sport significantly grow, and even just the fan engagement that they're able to have fans nationwide and not so much just Oklahoma. Oklahoma fans are incredible, but they're also able to be nationwide just with the coverage from ESPN. And you know, I think kids all over the country get to see Jada Coleman and fall in love, and I want to play like Jada Coleman. I want to be Jada Coleman. So just the growth of the sport in general, it's been awesome.
Alina Torres is in with Brito at first to start the Sooner second. Senior from Glendale, Arizona, has 2 years left after transferring from Arizona State. All Pac-12 shortstop. Arizona State won the Pac-12 title, went to a super regional last year. And they have Brito hung up between first and second. The shortstop Walker and the first baseman Villa will apply the tag. So Brito gets picked off in between first and second. Miscommunication, or did she just go too far?
Seems like miscommunication, just got gauging off of Coach Gasso's reaction here. It seemed as if this was supposed to be a bunt, and Brito just kind of got held off in the middle, kind of in no man's land. The pitch was not something that you can work with, so I don't blame her for pulling back, but if you've got to execute, you've got to execute.
1-1 hit in the air toward left. Back toward the track is Cran, and she will pull that one in with her right hand up against the wall. And straight away left. 2 down. So Riley Boone will be the batter. Toniolo's got to be feeling a lot better than when she gave up the leadoff blast to Coleman. She has given up just the walk to Brito and has faced the minimum in the last 5 hitters as Boone stands in. Riley Boone, part of this Sooner outfield that is so good. Playing out in left. And bunts this one. That's the thing about down in this lineup. Boone, we got Sanders down there, and we're seeing Quincy Lilio, but there's power and the ability to play the small ball as well.
Yeah, with Riley Boone, it's been so cool to watch her grow into the athlete that she is. I've seen her take on a more vocal role, leadership style role, but for her to already be a senior in this lineup just constantly now, it's been awesome to get to see that. But yeah, she's a true triple threat. She's got the pop, she's got the quickness, she's got the control of the barrel to work something in the dirt, get a bunt down, and you're going to see that all through this lineup.
And that versatility certainly on display in the postseason. She hit .500 in the Women's College World Series, was on the all-tournament team in Oklahoma City. 1-2 the count. Riley Boone batting .423 this year, has hit a home run and scored 9 runs. Bouncing ball backhanded by Walker, the shortstop, inning over. So pretty good for Toniolo since the leadoff home run to Coleman. She's faced the minimum, only 6 hitters. We go to the third with the Sooners up 1-0. Here, as the Sooners have a staff ERA of 1.12. You see individually 3 pitchers with an ERA below 1. Jordy Ball 2.66. We'll see Jordy Ball perhaps later in this game against Kentucky later today, but they are outstanding and deep. It's not just a one-pitcher show for this staff.
No, with Nicole May, Alex Sirocco, Jordy Ball, Kirsten Deal, they've got a loaded staff, and they all bring something different to the table. You know, you're going to see different speeds, you're going to see different movement. Kirsten Deal being a left-handed pitcher, the rest are righties, but you're going to see such a difference.
This pitch popped up, bunted foul by Dee Caskey. And a good effort there by Sophia Nugent. Could not quite get there. Alex Sirocco, what an addition that she has been. Redshirt senior, the transfer after 4 seasons at Michigan. And she's the Big 12 Pitcher of the Week. Was the winner against UCLA, picked up 2 wins out in California last weekend.
She pitched so well against UCLA, but what a career. I mean, getting to play 4 years at Michigan and then coming and playing for the reigning national champions, that is so special. And I got to hear her speak at the luncheon that they had just a few days ago, and just her maturity, her level of understanding the game, her passion for the game. She's a tremendous athlete, and I definitely think OU's got a good one for the season.
She was the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year last year. This one chased down in foul ground by Alina Torres to retire Caskey for the first out in the third. Back to the top of the order for Anna Walker, who struck out looking her first time.
Top of the order for the Flames. Now batting the shortstop, Anna
Walker batting .273 for the year. The Sooner pitching staff last year led the country with a 1.05 ERA, and opponents hit just 144 against them. But just a long line of great pitchers at Oklahoma.
I think it goes to show the coaching staff as well. I think Rocha came in and she's done a great job with the pitchers. Coach Lombardi was so great with the pitchers. So getting to see the consistency on the pitching side of things within the defense. It's really awesome to see Coach Rocha do what she does and understand each pitcher and coach them differently to the person that they are. I think that's one thing about the whole coaching staff is they really coach each player to be the best individual.
A strikeout of Walker for the second out in the third. And that is 5 strikeouts now for Nicole May this afternoon.
Now batting, the second baseman, Micah Inglis.
Just had that little trouble in the second, the infield base hit that went off the glove of Lilio. And a walk, but she pitched around that. Micah Inglis is in. She grounded out to the second baseman, Lilio, her first time. Sooners would take on Kentucky later on this evening. Kentucky ranked number 13 in the most recent college softball poll. Future SEC foes.
It'll be a good matchup. I'm excited to see Kentucky. I think with teams that are, you know, in the top 20, you never know what you're going to get. I think it'll be a great matchup. And when a lot of teams come to OU, they feel the environment, they feel the atmosphere, they feel the energy. And I think they've got nothing to lose, so they're going to come out and leave it all out on the field. It'll be a really good matchup.
In fact, I see the Wildcats loosening up outside the left field wall. Pop up, shallow left, and Riley Boone was playing very shallow. In fact, barely had to move to catch that one. 1-2-3 go the Flames in the third. Sooners lead it 1-0. And in the meantime, what a big matchup. Women's gymnastics, 7:45 Central, number 1 Oklahoma, number 2 Florida over at the Lloyd Noble Center. And Sooner men's gymnastics has Michigan coming in for a top 5 meet tomorrow. It is tomorrow evening at McCaslin Fieldhouse. Man, the postseason is getting close for a lot of those crossover sports, the winter-spring sports. Sydney Sanders leads things off against Christina Toniolo. And 0-2 to Sid Sanders. The Arizona State transfer hit .425, drove in 63 runs at Arizona State a season ago. The Pac-12 Freshman of the Year out of San Marcos, California. And a swing and a miss. So Toniolo, you mentioned really mixing things up nicely to keep these Sooner hitters off balance.
She's really working all sides of the plate, and I think that's something you can see her ball kind of dropping at the tail end of the plate. But you've got to be extremely disciplined with Toniolo, and I think these are going to be some at-bats that really help our hitters develop as well.
Quincy Lilio, the number 9 batting second baseman, in for the Sooners. And a strike. Since the home run to Jada Coleman, Toniolo has faced the minimum. Gave up the walk to Brito, but then picked her off at first base. So 7 outs in 7 batters. And Coleman will bat next after her home run in the first. Quincy Lilio, sophomore out of Oceanside, California, redshirted last year, but was a top 5 player nationally coming out of high school. This is her 11th official at bat of the year. Batting .400, 4 for 10 with 3 runs driven in. Toniolo, 23 strikeouts to lead this UIC staff. Two and two now to Lilio. This crowd is just waiting to erupt. They've had to wait so long to see this team. And the home opener. waits back on the 2-2 pitch and drives it foul.
It's incredible how many people are able to make a 3 o'clock game on a Friday.
What are they doing? Toniolo calls time. Pokes this one on 2 hops to third. Sabedo throws out Lilio. 2 down in the third. And now you see the Sooners come through for the second time. This is where JT Gasso makes those adjustments with his hitters. And the Sooners tend to fare much differently when they face pitchers for the second time.
Yeah, I think that's one thing about JT Gasso and what he's doing in the dugout with the athletes is he's making sure everybody's learning something every single pitch. As a hitter, you want to go in understanding, okay, we're once through the lineup. What have we all seen? I know that OU typically goes back into the dugout and shares every experience that they can about their previous at-bat so that it helps the next hitter. So when they go through that next round in the lineup, you're going to see a lot of potentially more patience. I think that we've seen some of the hitters kind of chasing at bad pitches. I think that'll be cleaned up a little bit. Maybe go in there with a different approach, different plan. I think that is something that JT Gasso does a really good job of. Okay, we're once through. What did everybody learn? How are we going to attack? So I'm excited to see how this round 2 kind of goes.
It wasn't much of a problem for Jada Coleman, though, the first time. She homered to left field. Hits a blast toward right field as she turns on this and hits it off the glove of Cowing and then the top of the wall. And it's a stand-up double for Jada Coleman. She's 2 for 2 and has the 2 Sooner hits today.
She's such a great hitter, but taking advantage of that first pitch strike at a point like this, you as a pitcher in Toniolo, you want to get that first pitch strike, but as a hitter throwing to Jada Coleman's not going to let that slide. She's going to take advantage of that first pitch strike, do what she can with it, send it right over to right center.
That is her first double of the year, and it gives Grace Lyons a chance with 2 down in the third. Grace popped up to the center fielder, Kasky, her first time. As a hitter, as Coleman did that time, so she hits the home run on a pitch that was away. Do you go up there thinking they're probably not going to pitch me away this time?
Yeah, typically you would go in there like, surely they're not going to throw me the same pitch or anything in that general area. But throwing to Jada Coleman, you can't really pick and choose. She can attack everything. But yeah, as a hitter, you probably go in with that mindset of, okay, I'm probably not going to expect that outside corner right away. We'll take care of that inside corner instead.
That one got away from Toniolo, and so Coleman will advance to third on the wild pitch. Looked like it kind of got stuck in her hand. And I think that we'll have Lynn Carrillo come out of the UIC dugout.
Yeah, it just seems like she kind of held on to that a little too long.
Lynn Carrillo, 7th year as the head coach. They went to the NCAA tournament back-to-back years, 2017 and 18, and had a string of 5 straight Horizon League regular season titles. She was on a Women's College World Series team as a player at UIC, 1994. Has her law degree. And they just, you're in Chicago in February. It's hard to get games at home. You have to go on the road and play in these events further down south like the USF Invitational. And everybody's trying to do that, find warm weather, so you run into stiff competition when you do that. This one pulled in the hole at short, backhanded by Walker. The throw is in time to get Lyons, and the inning is over. Circle. And for the Flames of UIC, the number 3 batter, the DH Carly Jo Clark, who struck out her first time, is in. 25th year at Marita Hines Field. Marita Hines so instrumental in the Oklahoma athletic department, hiring coaches and administration, and this field named after her. But soon to be Loves Field, which is just about a half a block away. Loves Field scheduled to debut in 2024 at the corner of Jenkins and Imhoff. Already had the groundbreaking and construction is underway. Capacity of 1,600, over 10,000 feet of indoor space. And great to watch the progress. As you come to these games, you can see what's happening there at the corner of Jenkins and Imhoff. There's a strike to Carly Jo Clark, 3-1 the count.
It has been so awesome to see just the growth. Even, I mean, I'm 9 years removed now, but
no way. Come on.
I know it's getting crazy, but to see just the growth. I remember when these bleachers were temporary, and now they're permanent in the fall, and just the amount of growth. The indoor has changed. The outdoor space over here, just so much has changed over the years, and it's crazy to say that we've really outgrown this facility. It's awesome to say it, but it's crazy.
Yeah, they played 6 fall games, and those were sold out.
Yeah, you can't
Scrimmages,
get tickets.
basically. Haley Cowing is in. She had the UIC hit off the glove of Sooner second baseman Quincy Lilio to start the second. Made it into scoring position, but was left stranded out there. 1-1 the count. That's 2 walks issued now by Nicole May. Close game, just 1-0. Offense has been at a premium. The ball and 2 strikes now on Cowing. Cowing, sophomore from Torrance, California. She has hit UIC's lone home run of the year. It'll stay 1-2. Just think of all the change around this complex in 25 years. You know, Headington Hall.
So the dorms I lived in are gone.
They're out of here. Swing and a miss. And first base occupied with that drop third strike. So Cowing is down on strikes. That is 6 strikeouts now for Nicole May.
Nicole May really doing a good job of getting the hitters to chase. I think I can kind of sense that she's not too pleased with her performance so far, but I do think that she's done a good job getting the hitters to chase.
What tells you you don't think she's too pleased with it?
Just the amount of times that we've seen Nugent go out and talk to her. I kind of sense it in her body language. I do think that she has a lot more to give. But you know what? She's doing a great job. 6 strikeouts. I think that she just wants more out of herself.
This one slashed foul up the third base side, and it's 0-2 on Alana Cran, who laid down a sacrifice bunt her first time. Carly Jo Clark, the runner at first with a leadoff walk. Dismissed inside.
Great pitch. Ooh, as a hitter, you probably, that's a little questionable. You might want to foul that one off.
That was nice of the crowd to try to help Mike Hernandez with the balls and strikes, wasn't it? I'm sure he appreciates that.
You'll get that with the Sooner fans. You'll get that help.
Tried to wait back on that one, and it'll stay 2-2 on Cran. Oklahoma rolling offensively coming into this event this weekend. Outscored opponents 50-4 out in California last weekend. So a big tip of the cap so far to Christina Toniolo in the circle for UIC. She's been through the Sooner lineup once and given only 2 hits. Payoff pitch got her swinging. 7 strikeouts for Nicole May, and back-to-back on Cowing and Cran here in the 4th.
That was a big pitch for Nicole May to really work through that count. Did a great job getting out of that.
Now batting, the catcher, Emma Crowley.
Great movement. Break to that outside corner.
Emma Crowley swats the first pitch to the top of the back screen. She was a strikeout victim her first time, the catcher for UIC. Nicole May trying to work around a leadoff walk in the 4th. And 0-2. Just did get a piece of that one. Nicole May induces this pop-up. Looks like it'll stay fair for Brito over near the Sooner dugout. The inning is over. Leadoff walk, but then 3 retired by Nicole May, who has pitched a scoreless 4 innings so far. We'll see if
has definitely gotten so much better, and hats off to Oklahoma State with the amount of growth that they've had within their team and their program. Coach Gajewski has done a great job.
Jocelyn Erickson flied out to the center fielder Didi Caskey her first time. Erickson, then Nugent and Brito, the scheduled 3 against Christina Toniolo. She gave up a leadoff home run to Jada Coleman, and since then she's given a walk and then a double to Jada Coleman. But that's been it. It's this Sooner lineup batting .382 coming in. Erickson's average .552, 5 homers, and 16 runs driven in. Beg your pardon, 21 runs driven in.
As a freshman.
As a freshman. But it's been amazing the way that over the years freshmen have acclimated themselves to this lineup. Jocelyn Allo was a star from the get-go. I remember Lauren Chamberlain coming in being a star from the get-go.
Lauren Chamberlain, stud. Sydney Romero, stud. Tiare.
Jada Coleman and Tiara Jennings. It's the standard, it's the expectation that you can come in and play at a high level right away.
Yeah. Kaylani Ricketts, Jessica Schultz. So many studs.
Time called as Toniolo and Crowley visit. 3-1 the count on Erickson. There are some of them out there. 2017 national championship team.
Shade Knighton. She came out and rocked it
Yeah, Shea Knighton's class was unbelievable. That started almost like a reload. And that's what Oklahoma does every year. Patty Gasso was asked about that this week. She did an interview with MLB Network a few days ago, and it was kind of a broad view, like the view from 40,000 feet. How have you done this? What's the secret formula?
What's the secret sauce, Coach?
Right. There's ball 4 to Erickson. You know, one thing that is so great about Coach Gasso, and you experienced it over the years, she is not afraid to be brutally honest at times with you.
No, she's not. And I think I kind of touched on it earlier, the way that she coaches each individual player. She really takes the time to understand who you are and what it's going to take to make you be the best you. She also coaches, obviously, as a team. Everybody's going to go through trial and error together, but she takes the time to understand you as an individual. And I think that is what made me, at least, the player that I was, is I'm going to be the best me, and I'm going to be the best me for my team. So I think that her approach is just very unique.
And you have to learn and adapt over the years to new attitudes and the new spirit of players and empowering your players. And she's done such a great job. Sophia Nugent is in. Avery Hodge is running for Erickson at first base. Sophia Nugent struck out her first time. See if Oklahoma can get the offense sparked. Only 2 hits, both by Jada Coleman today. And we will see Kinsey Hansen now bat, so some changes. So Kinsey Hansen batting for Nugent. Kinsey Hansen, front and center in so many big games for the Sooners. She was on the all-tournament team at the Women's College World Series 2021. A slow bouncer to short. Walker will get the out on the pinch runner Avery Hodge at second base, and Hansen will be safe at first.
And the way that Hansen came out and attacked against UCLA, that was awesome to see, especially after her procedure was done and everything that she just went through over the last few weeks. It was really awesome to see her come out and just get right back to it. Didn't miss a beat.
Sooners will now pinch hit Tiare Jennings for Alyssa Brito in the number 5 spot. And she takes a strike. So it is Hansen at first base and 1 away. And here is Tiare batting .400, 3 home runs, 14 runs driven in. Rifled down the right field line, but foul. And the count rolls to 0-2 on Tiare Jennings. First team All-American a season ago. Batted .401 with 29 home runs. And that was after 27 home runs. An NCAA freshman record. That squirts out of the glove of Crowley, and so Hansen will move up. It may be a pass ball. Jennings, a star from day one as a Sooner. National Freshman of the Year 2021.
I have loved watching her play. I enjoy watching her joy on the field. She just has so much fun in videos and watching their games. You see her like backpedaling to a ball or going after a ball that's in her vicinity with a big smile on her face. Just everywhere she goes, she's just having the time of her life, and I love watching that.
Keeps the at-bat alive as she pokes this one out of play. plays with the same joy she probably had when she first started playing the game. And another foul ball. Sooners got a leadoff walk from Jocelyn Erickson, and then the fielder's choice that put Hansen aboard. But only 2 hits to this point off of Toniolo.
Good battle.
A 3rd consecutive foul ball. Jennings batting .417 with runners in scoring position. Two and two now.
Toniolo really working both sides of the plate. She started off more on the outside corner. Now you see her kind of working in. But Tiare doing a really good job fouling everything off until she can get one to work with.
And spoils another one. Jennings batting for Alyssa Brito, who had walked her first time.
Everybody clap your hands.
This one is outside. What an at-bat this is.
Taking some speed off of that one. Painting the outside corner.
Now, would you be careful here? It's 3-2. First base is open.
Yeah, you don't want to walk her. You don't want to put anybody on base when you're facing this lineup.
This one toward Inglis. And she's able to make the put out. 2 down. So Toniolo wins what was a mighty struggle between herself and Tiare Jennings. And with 2 down, she'll face Alina Torres.
It's a big out for Toniolo to really take control over that last pitch. It seemed like she took some of that speed off, caused Tiare to be a little bit out front, hit that ball off the end of the bat.
Slower and slower and slower. Alina Torres hit a fly ball to the left fielder Cran, her first time.
And this defense is playing deep. All the infielders are at the grass line. Except Sabedo, she's right behind third base, but playing deep.
And it's 0-2 on Torres. Toniolo's confidence got to be high against this lineup. Getting some critical outs so far.
Yeah, she's done a great job. She's getting ahead of the count pretty often. Doing a really good job at controlling, keeping the ball off of the plate. She has not really missed over the plate at all. And I think that's something as a pitcher facing this OU lineup, you have to know, if I'm going to miss, I need to miss way off.
Tap toward the second baseman, Inglis. And the inning is over. Leadoff walk, and the Sooners unable to bring that runner around. And it's 1-0 Oklahoma. Moving Nicole May back out there. She has given just 1 hit. And the Sooners have needed her to be as good as she has been. 7 strikeouts, 2 walks through 4 innings so far. Liner toward Jordy Ball, who is out in right field. Isn't that the way it goes? They put you into the game and one gets hit right at you.
There you go, Jordy.
So there's Jordy, of course, playing a little more in the field, doing some hitting this year, focusing on pitching last year, and was just unbelievable in that run all the way to the Women's College World Series. And so Jordy Ball, first team All-American last year, co-Big 12 Pitcher of the Year. You see that Tiare Jennings has come in to play second base after her pinch hitting role in the fourth. Alyssa Villa, the batter, struck out against May back in the second. Oh, and 2. The Flames did have a threat in the second. Leadoff single by Haley Cowing and a walk to Sabedo, who just lined out. But May was able to pitch around that. Swing and a miss, strikeout number 8 for Nicole May.
Great pitch. Really working up in the zone, getting that hitter to chase. I think that's what I like to see out of Nicole May, is just quick. I feel like her last few at-bats or, hitter's face has been just a little bit slower to kind of find her groove. Now she seems to be a little bit more quicker paced, in control, confident.
And she does now have Kinsey Hansen back there behind home plate. Can that aid with her rhythm, how quickly she can work?
Yeah, I would say so. I think having that pitcher-catcher battery that you're used to definitely changes the energy, I guess I could say.
Crowd again trying to help out with our plate umpire Mike Hernandez. 1-2 the count on Dee Caskey, who hit a pop-up in foul ground to the right fielder her first time up. Strike 3, tag applied by Hansen. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning, and 9 strikeouts to this point for Nicole May.
She's done a great job.
Bunt to start the inning by Riley Boone. She's safe at first for the third Sooner hit, and the first by anyone other than Jada Coleman. Just perfectly done, and we talked about it earlier. There's power and there's finesse from the lower part of this Sooner lineup.
And that's exactly what you want to see out of Boone as she leads off this next inning. They need to get on the board. I know that this is not where they want to be against UIC, and I know that they need that momentum. They need to start passing the torch. They needed somewhere to start, so Riley Boone kind of leading that off. Did a great job.
Sydney Sanders. This is the 4th time, actually, the Sooners have had the leadoff hitter reach safely. Carly Jo Clark is the new pitcher for UIC. What a job by Toniolo in this game. Kept her team in it. Christina Toniolo, 4 innings, gave the Sooners just 2 hits and 1 earned run with 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. Deep drive to right by Sydney Sanders, and it's gone. Sooners take a 3-0 lead. It's actually Haley Lee who had come on and blasts one over the right field wall. So the Sooners sneak Haley Lee in there, and she tunes one up over the right field fence.
What a way to welcome yourself into the lineup tonight. Just absolutely destroying this ball. Outside corner, sending it opposite field. Just tremendous strength.
Third home run for Haley Lee. RBI's 12 and 13. And Oklahoma gets a little bit of breathing room.
Now batting the right fielder, Jordy Ball.
And right fielder Jordy Ball will be the batter. So 2 more Sooner home runs today, and now 23 for the season as a team. And Jordy Ball lifts one foul.
You see the swag that she brings from the mound into the batter's box.
3 hits in 11 at-bats for Jordy Ball. She's driven in 2 runs this year. A little bit inside from Clark. Look at the depth of this Sooner team once again. You bring Haley Lee off the bench to hit this home run. And Ball takes ball 2 outside. Quincy Lilio previously was in the number 9 spot, was 0 for 1 with a ground out. And now Jordy Ball batting there. Downstairs and 3-1, and now looks like Emma Crowley will go out for a visit with Clark.
You know, in this situation, I think you just got to make sure you're on the same page and comfortable. I know that she's came out against this Oklahoma offense, and it's tough. And to face Boone and put that pressure on her defense, that kind of rattles your cage a little bit. And then having to face Haley Lee, 3 pitches in, hits a bomb. Now facing Jordy Ball, you do not want to put extra runners on base.
Ball pulls this one past Patty Gasso in the third base coach's box. Jada Coleman is on deck and will bat next. She has 2 hits, a home run and a double.
This is a big out that could really help Clark in setting herself up for a better position against the rest of these hitters. You don't want to have a runner on with Jada Coleman up to bat. And no outs. It's a tough situation.
Ball hits another one foul. There's ball 4 to Jordy Ball. So Clark has come into the game, given up the bunt hit, the home run, and now a walk, and she will have to deal with Jada Coleman.
Top of the order for the Sooner.
I think this is something that Coach Gasso is excited to see, the execution of what happens next. This is a good situation for Jada to be in, to see what can she do with Jordy Ball on base, no outs. You've already scored 2 this inning. How can we continue to keep the momentum? You see Walker kind of shifted over towards the middle of the field.
And a bunt. Perfectly executed by Jada Coleman, who's 3 for 3. And Oklahoma is in position for one of those Oklahoma kind of offensive innings.
I mean, that was perfect placement for what needed to be done. That ball was picked up and Jada Coleman was already at first base. That ball was in no man's land. You have Sabedo, Walker shifted, Sabedo playing a little bit deep. Because Jada Coleman is so capable of power, you don't know how to play her, and she just found the perfect spot, placed it right in no man's land. They didn't have a chance.
was really like a swinging bunt, almost a slap, just
Soft
perfect.
slap, yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, it's effective. And here's Grace Lyons. Still nobody out. 2 runs in, 2 on. Lyons takes ball 1 inside. Grace has popped up to the center fielder Caskey and grounded to Walker, the shortstop. We have a little conference. All the infielders here. This is just kind of, I think, a refocusing for Len Carrillo, the head coach of the Flames. Things were going along so smoothly with Toniolo's pitching out there. And now Clark comes in, gets greeted rudely, and he's got to settle everything down.
Yeah, I think this is definitely just a time to get their nerves down a little bit. I think the most important thing right now is just getting out. You know, I think for the defense to understand, okay, they can do some different things with Jordy on second, Jada on first. They can do so many different things. Is this a play where you're going force for 3, or you want to just get the lead out? You want to turn 2? What are all of the options here? But there are options is the thing. So I think calming them nerves and making them understand, just play catch. Whoever gets that ball, just get it to the right person, make good throws, control the controllables.
But you have a veteran at the plate, the super senior Grace Lyons. What a year she had last year. 23 home runs, 70 runs driven in. First team All-American, and she bunts foul. You know, a couple of innings ago, you were talking about how deep and shifted this infield has played. Sooners see a little bit of that right now.
Yeah. So we're saying Walker kind of shifted towards second base, playing at the grass line. Sabedo kind of coming in close. I think the tough part here is if, you know, Sabedo has to field a bunt and Grace goes after a bunt, then it's a full-on race for Ball and Walker to be at third.
Sooners really aggressive, running from second base and first base. Jordy Ball was halfway to third.
We're seeing Sabedo almost kind of give up the bunt. She covered third base, so had something been dropped down that third base line, everybody would have been safe.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Walker's so deep, she has no chance to get over third and cover if there's a bunt. Lyons taps this one to third, just foul. Everybody was going to be safe if that had been fair. 2-2 now on Lyons.
I think with Walker playing so deep, it kind of throws off a lot for Sabedo to do anything. But it seems as if they just need to get an out. It seems like they just want an out, and they're probably just going to go 1 on whatever it is.
Lyons hits one right at the third baseman Sabedo, who drops it, still able to pick it up in time to get the force play on Jordy Ball. And the Sooners actually probably kind of lucky there. If she catches that liner, it might have been a double play.
Yeah, and there's really not much Jordy could do about that hard hit ball right to the third baseman. She identifies that, gets back as fast as she could, but
now
then it fell out of her hands.
Player,
not much you can do about that.
So Jocelyn Erickson bats. It is Coleman at second, Grace Lyons at first. Clark trying to minimize the damage here. She's given up 2 runs. And Erickson 0 for 1 today with a walk back in the 4th inning. If you can get out of this, if you're Clark, with only 2 runs given up after Oklahoma got 2 quick ones, and then it was first and second, and there was nobody out, but she's still 2 outs away from getting it.
Well, facing Lyons and Erickson, that would be a huge win on their end.
Erickson hits this one right toward the center fielder, Caskey. Can they get the double play? Not quite. It is a line out to center, and Coleman was able to lunge back to second base. Pretty hard hit ball there by Erickson, but right to Caskey.
Really hard hit ball. Those are tough because as Jada Coleman's coming off, you need to give yourself some room to potentially be safe at third if that is a play coming in for the center fielder. But you also can't get too far out to where that is caught. You've got to be back to tag.
And don't discount the play there by Caskey. That ball tailing away and hit on the screws. You've been out there before. Those balls can get tricky.
Those are. It's one of those ones that's right at your shoulders. Do I come in? Do I go back? She had a great read. Came in hard.
Mackenzie Hansen, the batter, with runners first and second, and now 2 down. Sooners have added 2 on a home run by Haley Lee.
Everyone playing really deep again. Right field, almost at the warning track.
And did that get her? No, not quite. Crowd oohs and ahs. Mackenzie Hansen hit into a fielder's choice play. Slicing foul ball. Then 1-2 the count on Hansen.
This is a big pitch for Clark. If she can get out of this, that would be a huge shift of momentum into their dugout.
Hansen calls time. A good miss, you might say there, 2-2.
Yeah, not a bad pitch. Definitely something that some hitters would chase in this count.
Hansen hits a bouncing ball to third, speared by Sabedo, and the inning is over. So Carly Jo Clark able to limit the damage. Sooners get 2 runs on 3 hits and leave 2 out there, and Haley Lee off the bench and out of the yard right here with the second Sooner home run of the game. 3-0 Oklahoma as we move to the 6th inning next year.
I cannot wait. Man, it's going to be so awesome.
Nicole May back out to the circle. 9 strikeouts and a 1-hitter for her so far. Anna Walker batting for the 3rd time against the Sooner right-hander. Walker has struck out twice, once swinging, once looking. So she tries to bunt this one. And it's a fair ball. It stays on the chalk. It just spun to a halt. Like a pitching wedge that just checked up on the green. Perfect.
Wow, that really was a perfect bunt.
I think it was the right choice by May, though, to try to let it go foul.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough play to make from that position where that ball would have been picked up and getting that to first base in time. But she saw that spin, and you could see how tight it was. I thought for sure it was going to spin out.
Inglis bunts also. This one scooped up. And a quick peg over to first base by Torres.
Sweet.
Sooners have Alina Torres over there replacing Brito at third.
Now batting, the pitcher, Carly Jo Clark.
So it is Walker at second. One away, and Carly Jo Clark, who's now pitching, is the batter, and she hits one speared up high by Jennings, and Walker's able to range back to second to avoid being doubled off. But look at Jennings' athleticism and reach and grace.
Tiare with the catch. Just the way that she breaks and moves her body immediately off the bat, and her hops. Look at her get up. Oh my goodness, she's so athletic.
So 2 down, and here's Cowing. Swings right through that pitch from May. Cowing had the lone hit before this inning. Walker had that bunt base hit here, but Cowing had the previous only hit, an infield single in the second. And 0-2. Strikeout number 10 for Nicole May. She gives up the lead-up single, but gives nothing after that. 8 Sooners currently who were All-Americans a season ago. The 5 Sooners who return: Lyons, Hanson, Coleman, Jennings, and Jordy Ball. And then the transfers who were All-Americans at their previous schools: Haley Lee, Texas A&M, Alex Storako at Michigan, and Sydney Sanders, All-American at Arizona State a season ago. It's nearly a team full of All-Americans.
That is incredible. 8 athletes all on one team were All-Americans last year.
The second baseman, Tiare Jennings.
And here's one of them, Tiare Jennings. Came on in a pinch hitting role and popped up to the second baseman, Micah Inglis, back in the 4th. First pitch a little bit outside from Carly Jo Clark. Did a great job to limit the damage in her first inning of work in the 5th. And about 5 pitches in, she had given up a 2-run home run. And then the Sooners put runners at first and second with nobody out. And from there, she was able to get the next 3 hitters.
Oh, that's huge. The way she came out, you know, she gave up the home run, but she was really able to find it, build up the confidence to get through it, and to face hitters like Jada Coleman, Lyons, Erickson, and still get out of that. It's a huge accomplishment.
Obviously, Clark, a 2-way player. We saw her in the batting lineup, or have seen her today. Last year, 25 appearances in the circle with an ERA of 3.28, and she hit .293. She's a Southern Illinois transfer. Spent 2 years there before arriving at UIC. Full count now to Tiare Jennings.
Not a pitch she could do anything with. It's a good take.
But ball 4, a patient at bat for Jennings. And the Sooners' 6th begins with a free pass.
Jennings is just a very smart hitter. She really has the patience it takes to get where she needs to be. I think she's very smart on pitch locations and understanding, okay, if outside I'm going oppo it. Like, she can identify so well.
Defensive changes for UIC. Now in center field is number 7, Grace Fleming. And in right field, number 3, Phoebe Caskey. Now batting the third baseman.
So for the Sooners, it'll be Alina Torres. Started the game in right field. She's now at third base. And 0 for 2 with a fly out to left and a ground ball to second. One hopper right back to Clark, and she will make the play to first. Jennings slides in safely to second base. One away. This is the 5th time in 6 innings the Sooners have had the leadoff batter reach base safely. So just haven't taken full advantage.
Now batting the
And that's definitely a stat that they'll hear about later.
Boom.
You get that leadoff runner on, and we didn't do anything 6 different times, we've got a problem.
They have left 4 runners on base today. Here's Riley Boone. Laid down that bunt to start the 5th and scored on Lee's home run 1 batter later. She rips this one to deep right. Caskey is back, and this one is gone. It's a 2-run shot for Riley Boone, the 3rd Sooner home run of the game.
Just taking advantage of that first pitch up in the zone. Riley with the true triple threat, able to really bounce the ball, bunt the ball, but also come up and just send it deep. Just a great job of not letting that pitch get by you. Take advantage of something like that up in the zone. Just get it out of here.
Sooner home runs are brought to you by OERB. We've had 3 of those today. And now 24 home runs on the year for this Oklahoma offense. But Riley Boone, a bunt in the previous at-bat, home run the next. And she's 2 for 3 today with 2 runs scored and 2 runs driven in. Haley Lee homered her last time. There's a strike on the outside edge from Clark. Lee's average is up to 44 for 444, I should say, with the 3 home runs and 13 driven in. Really not a breath of wind. We started out with a pretty good breeze coming out of the north today. Skies have cleared, and there you see the flags. Swing and a miss on the 1-2, 2 gone. That is the first strikeout for Clark. Strikeout number 3 for UIC pitching today. Brings in Jordy Ball, who walked back in the 5th inning. Came on to play right field in the top half of that 5th inning and then walked in her first plate appearance. A ball and a strike to Jordy Ball. Oklahoma and Kentucky scheduled for a 5:30 first pitch. We're going to have to hustle to make that 5:30 start time if you're maybe watching and somehow you got tickets to the late game.
It's tough to do that from what I hear.
Yes. You got to know a guy who knows a guy. The 1-2 off the end of the bat in the hole, and perfect spot there for Jordy Ball as she rolls a base hit out into left. And the inning is still alive.
Great battle by Jordy. Just fighting it off, getting a pitch she could do something with. You notice Clark is kind of taking some speed off. The pitch before that took a lot off. So Jordy kind of being able to find the right timing and bounce it through.
So here's Jada Coleman. She is a triple shy of hitting for the cycle. Homered in the first, doubled in the third, single in the fifth. The triple is the hardest to get in the cycle.
She does have the speed to do it.
Definitely.
She can do it.
And the first pitch is in there for a strike. Did you hit for the cycle? You had that. You had the speed, definitely. Big
I never
triples
hit for
player.
the cycle.
No?
I had a couple triples. Never. You know, I had 0 home runs.
I wasn't aware that it was 0.
0. Yeah. I was told that's not my job. You got Lauren behind you. You got Shelby behind you. You got Georgia Casey, Kaylani.
Yeah.
You just get yourself on base.
Ball swipes second base. It's another element that she provides when she's in there offensively.
Speed. Caught them off guard. I mean, as a defensive player, my first instinct would not think that Jordy Ball is going to steal second base.
No. It's her first stolen base, in fact. Sooners are 11 of 12 as a team. Popped up. Tough spot. But chased down in fair ground by Alana Cran. The inning is over. Sooners had a 2-run home run by Riley Boone. They've hit 3 home runs today. They'll try to close it out with a 5-0 lead as we go to the 7th. May going to try her fourth complete game of the year. She's back out there to start the top of the 7th. Sooners lead at 5-0 alongside the former Sooner national champion and All-American Destiny Martinez. I'm Chad McKee. We're told it will be 30 minutes one way or the other in between game 1 and game 2. Oklahoma and Kentucky will follow this. So if you're headed this way or you're tuning back in on ESPN Plus, 30 minutes between games. What a performance it's been by Nicole May, though, Destiny. 10 strikeouts. She's given up just the 2 hits and a shutout so far.
She has done such a great job on the mound. Just being able to see her movement and her control and everything that she's trying to grasp. I've really seen her grow throughout the game as well. She's had such a great performance. 10 strikeouts. That's great.
Alana Cran is 0 for 1, had a sacrifice in the second and struck out in the fourth. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 11 for Nicole May is out number 1 in the 7th.
That rise ball is we're not seeing a lot of hitters lay off of that. That's tough.
It's almost as though she's become even more dialed in about the last 3 innings.
Yeah.
Does it feel like it?
I've noticed that, yes, 100% with you on that. I think the last few innings, I feel like she's brought some more swag to the circle. She's gotten some more energy.
And you said she's worked with more of a rhythm, it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely looked different the last 3 innings. She was performing well all game. I just feel like her energy has changed.
Emma Crowley is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Oklahoma got a solo home run from Jada Coleman in the bottom of the first inning. But then really good pitching from Christina Toniolo. She held Oklahoma scoreless until the 5th. Toniolo left, and the Sooners have gotten 4 runs off of Carly Jo Clark since then, including 2-run home runs by both Haley Lee and Riley Boone. So all the Oklahoma offense from the long ball in this one. 1-2 to Emma Crowley. Eleven strikeouts is a career high for Nicole May. Looking for number 12. Just got a piece of that, did Emma Crowley. Sooners and Kentucky in the nightcap. Kentucky ranked number 16. They are 10-3-1. Wins over number 8 Washington and number 24 North Texas. 2-2. Check swing. Ground ball to Grace Lyons. Sooners 1 out away.
Grace Lyons is just so smooth out at shortstop.
Been on plays when you think there might be the possibility of a stumble or your feet tangled up.
Yeah,
she handles it.
She had to cover some ground on that one, and it didn't even seem like it. She's so good.
Jordan Sabedo, one hopper, speared by Erickson, and the Sooners win it. 1-2-3. Go the Flames in the 7th inning.
That's your ball game. The final score is
We welcome you into the Sooners softball postgame show presented by Bud Light, reminding you to enjoy responsibly. 4th complete game of the year for Nicole May. It's a shutout. Her ERA is still 0.00. She is now 4-0, and it's a career high 11 strikeouts for the right-hander. They needed it. The offense was a little slow to get started, and in the meantime, Nicole May just did what she's supposed to do out in the circle.
Nicole May did such a great job out on the mound. Being able to see her really excel throughout the game was awesome to see. I think getting settled in, and you know, this is their first home game. Having a crowd like this and readjusting to this environment may have played a role in that, but I definitely loved her performance. I think she did very well all throughout the game, but those last 3 innings, we definitely saw a shift in the energy. A little bit of swag was brought back out to the field, a lot more momentum and just energy. I felt it a little bit differently towards the end of the game. She did a great job.
Your game